It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
It's difficult to imagine or even believe that your 2011 season of the Southwest Outdoors Report began right here on Fox Sports Southwest way back on March the 17th, and already just in the next couple of weeks we'll pass the halfway point of the season. And what a good season it's been. We began with white bass fishing. We've done hybrids, stripers, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, crappie, even catfish. It's been a really good season thus far. So coming up on this week's episode, in the next half hour, we're going to take a quick look back over our shoulder at the half season in review. While I'm doing that, we are taking you around the region for this week's very latest fishing reports from Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas freshwater, and down along the Gulf Coast, all your saltwater reports. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, I'll be showing you one fantastic place to do a little night fishing during these summertime months upcoming. On the Big Catch of the Week, we show you a big largemouth bass from Sam Rayburn in far east Texas. We'll also have the Academy Right Stuff, talk about some summertime equipment you'll need. We'll have the Ask the Pro feature, expert answers to your fishing questions, and a whole lot more. So before we get all that started, we take you back to the FSN studio. Here is your Chevy Weekend Planner.
A check of the fishing tables for the weekend indicates that the prime daytime hours will begin around noon, while peak evening hours should start around midnight. If you like to fish at night with a lot of moonlight, then this weekend is for you with a full moon on Friday. Expect sunrise to take place at 6:30 and the sun will be setting at 8:36. Also, there's a kid fish event taking place at College Station on Saturday morning. Grab the family for lots of fun and win great prizes like Preston from Flower Mound, Texas. Plus, kids have a chance to catch fish and qualify for the Chevy Kidfish Classic. Visit the website for more details. We'll be right back with all the fishing information from around our region. Stay with us.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors. Buy quality award-winning Tracker boats. Fish the finest. Lawrence, maker of the HDS, high-definition systems, and Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Hey, welcome back everybody to our half season in review episode of your Southwest Outdoors Report. Taking a look back, what's happened during the first part of our 2011 season. It all began back in March with the white bass spawning run. They ran up creeks and rivers all around our region. We caught a few nice ones in a couple of river systems around the region, and then quickly we transitioned to the largemouth bass spawn. They were a little later this season because of the colder water temperatures. It all began with a trip to Ray Roberts, where I caught a really nice largemouth bass on a spinnerbait and lost an even larger one. Then after that, we moved along to O.H. Ivy, which is the 2011 big bass capital of the state of Texas, with several Sherlunker entries. Now, our guide friend J.R. Howard managed to catch a gigantic 9-pound, 12-ounce largemouth bass on camera out of O.H. Ivy. So we had two really good largemouth bass trips, several others, and some smallmouth trips that we'll talk about a little bit later. Well, first up, let's get you rolling with this week's current fishing and lake reports from the state of Oklahoma. Here's Gary Dollahan with the Sooner Beat.
Man, it got hot here in Oklahoma. It's definitely summertime. And as a result of that, there are still some blue algae concerns in the northeastern part of the state. They're talking about Grand Lake. Now Fort Gibson, they're also taking a look at Keystone. So be sure and check out those lake advisories before you visit some of these waters. But this time of year is also really my favorite time of year to chase white bass. I like that for two reasons, because you can find a lot of fish schooling on top right now, even in the hottest part of the day. And when they're not on top, they're very predictable as where you can find them. Look on the flats. I see a lot of fish right now running in that 5 to 10 foot depth, and then also on that break line that happens about 10 foot, breaking off to 15, 16, 19 foot of water. Great baits to always have tied on right now is a topwater bait like the chug bug, Always have a crappie type jig, such as a slab slayer, and then I always have my jig and spoon, because if there are school on top, I can make a really long cast, then I can let it fall. I can also yo-yo it on the bottom. I can work it out to that break line. If you intend to keep a mess of fish this time of year, make sure you take an ice chest with you, full of ice. Put those fish immediately into your ice chest as you catch them. Don't use your live well if you're going to keep fish to eat this time of year. The water temperatures are too hot. Your fish aren't going to stay alive. They're not going to do very well. They're not going to taste as good. Take care of your catch. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
This week on the Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, we're going to be talking about night fishing, which becomes very popular this time of the year with these extremely hot daytime temperatures. For a good night fishing lake, you need 3 factors. You need lots of lighted boat docks, lots of open water, not a lot of stumps and obstructions to hit with your boat out there in the dark, and you need multiple species of fish to catch. One lake that meets all 3 criteria is Possum Kingdom Lake in northwest Texas. It's experienced a big comeback this year after a fairly significant fish kill early last year. So let's show it to you for night fishing right now on the Lowrance HDS-10. The lake is located west of Grayford, Texas in Palo Pinto County. Probably the best concentration of docks is adjacent to deeper water on the lower end of the lake inside this red area. For orientation purposes, Park Road 36 runs west here onto the main lake peninsula. Costello Island is here. This entire area is lined with one dock after another, some of them really large. We zoom in again to that same area on the Navionics Hot Maps Platinum chart and show that you could launch your boat at the public boat ramp right here south of Costello Island and fish literally the entire shoreline downstream for miles toward the dam and never run out of boat docks to fish. That's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. Coming up next, Cajun Phil and Kevin are ready from Louisiana.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Stren, the standard of dependability, by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride, Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors, and Mercury Marine.
Got it. All right. What is it? Crappie. Yeah, we got a crappie. All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors Report. Season in review for a half season of 2011. And let's talk about the wily crappie a little bit. We started the season early on in April, catching crappie up shallow on a slip bobber rig. We went to Lake Bridgeport, caught a few nice ones while they were spawning. Then the crappie moved off the shoreline, moved out deep, and we moved over to Lake Lavon in northeast Texas and had a great day catching them off brush piles. Threw out a marker buoy, flipped in there with a little Bobby Garland crappie jig, and caught lots of really good sized crappie off deep brush piles, and that's where they're going to be all summer long. Key on deep brush piles, find them with your sonar, and you can catch a big mess of crappie right through the summertime months. All right, let's move along right now with Cajun Phil and Kevin in Louisiana. Back you go, buddy.
Well, last week, remember we talked to you about Henderson Lake? Well, this week I found out that the entire Atchafalaya Basin is on fire. I mean, it don't matter what canal, what bayou, where you go, if you're branching off of the Atchafalaya Basin, you're gonna catch fish. Right now, lots of 1.5 pound up to about 3 pound bass being caught Lake Lorette or anywhere in the Atchafalaya Basin. As far as the saltwater action, let's go to Captain Kevin right now. He's coming in, I can hear his boat coming down the canal.
Caught a limited trout today. We got 8 reds. Caught a few oversized big reds today under some schools out in the middle. We caught them on soft plastic. Most of the trout we caught on live shrimp, but it was, good eating size, lots of action. Tell you what, friends, right now we're getting into our summertime pattern. Soft plastics under the birds if you can find them working. Live shrimp under a popping cork over your oyster reef. Tell you what, redfish, beat the banks and then look for the schools out in the middle of the lake. Lots of great fishing here on Calcasieu Lake. Y'all come down, give us a call. The number's on the screen.
Well, stay with us because coming up next, we've got your Lone Star Lakes Texas freshwater fishing report. But first of all, let me tell you about what the bass are doing after they spawned. They've moved back out to deeper water structure off main lake points, underwater ridges, humps, those kinds of places. We had one good trip up to Arbuckle Lake, south central Oklahoma, and caught quite a few largemouth bass on soft plastic jerkbaits, fishing those fairly deep off main lake points. Nothing really big, but a lot of good action at Arbuckle Lake. Then we made a little trip over to Dripping Springs Lake. It's a two-lake complex near Okmulgee, Oklahoma. We fished with local angler Mike Taylor, who caught a 9-pound plus bass while we had the camera rolling. You're looking at a shot of that fish as well. We also managed to catch several good quality fish, nothing real big, off reeds, cattails, and weed beds that surround the shoreline of that little lake. I was very impressed with Dripping Springs. You can catch bass off deep cover and deep structure right through the summertime months. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life. By Navionics, enjoy Navionics anytime, anywhere. By Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors.
Whoa, there's something. Hit my spoon. This is acting really weird. It's acting like a catfish maybe. Oh, it's a white bass and he's hooked right under the fin. Big old school of white bass. Hey, welcome back everybody, your Southwest Outdoors Report. Half season in review on today's episode. We're looking back at what all's happened the first half of the year. Let's talk about whites, stripers, and hybrids for just a second. That's a white bass. We started off the season with white bass spawning up creeks and rivers, as I mentioned, but very quickly, once the weather warmed up, they finished the spawn, moved out to deeper water. Right now, the way you can catch them for the rest of the summer is out in fairly deep water on deep humps, ridges, flats, and points with a jigging spoon or a slat. Now let's talk about stripers for a minute. We went up to Lake Texhoma. It's coming back from a devastating shad kill, but it's not great. The fish bite for about the first 2 hours of the morning. Guides and locals are all catching their limits, but they're very small fish, as you can see. And then as far as the hybrid stripers are concerned, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start talking about hybrids. They're one of the best game fish in our entire region, so we'll give you a little information about those just in the next few weeks, so watch the show. Easiest fish to catch though right now, whites, stripers, and hybrids in lakes across our region. Let's check in right now with Brian Hughes, your Texas Freshwater Fisherman Lake Report.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Ultimate Summer Boat and Outdoor Show, happening this weekend and next at Dallas's Market Hall. Now, I normally wouldn't visit alligator gar fishing more than about once a season, but right now it is so good I can't help it. We just had a record set in April for alligator gar with a 200-plus pounder. Now we have a catch and release record at 88 inches. Both of these caught by the same fishermen in the same place, the Trinity River below the Lake Livingston Dam. Now this is a fantastic place to fish for monster gar. You're going to need extra heavy-duty equipment though. Be sure and get 100-pound or better braided line. Put a steel leader on there. Use extra large hooks, stainless steel type. I would even suggest saltwater hooks, and hunks of chicken, a quarter or a half a chicken. Thread that hook in there real good, hunk it out there and wait. You could catch the alligator gar of a lifetime. Now bass fishermen, look for those lily pads on Lake Fork along with some grass. That's where they're going to be hiding during this hot summertime. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Ultimate Summer Boat and Outdoor Show. Let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report. For the very best monthly coastal and inland fishing information, plus year-round hunting tips, check out our award-winning magazine. Pick up a copy of Texas Outdoors Journal on newsstands or subscribe securely at the website on the screen. Hot summertime weather has pushed speckled trout to deeper reefs and depths. On Sabine Lake, good catches of speckled trout are coming from the intracoastal waterway. Find the drains and use 3/8-ounce jig heads to get down to the fish. The same heavier weight rig also works well around shell well pads in Galveston, Trinity, Matagorda, Aransas, and Corpus Christi bays. Bird activity is becoming more pronounced on Sabine, Galveston, Trinity, and Matagorda bays. Silver spoons and imitation shrimp rigged on 1/4 ounce jig heads are allowing for long casts to reach the action and the weight to get below the schoolies. Middle Coast action continues around the grass beds and potholes from the King Ranch shoreline to Peta Island. Offshore, the red snapper season closes July 19th in federal waters. However, red snapper fishing will continue in state waters out to 9 nautical miles. On July 15th, the Gulf shrimp season reopens. Anchored shrimp boats become great places to catch a variety of pelagics. This weekend, Saturday has a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides. This Sunday has a 3 tide day of 2 high tides and just 1 low. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Well, next up, June became catfish month across the Southwest as the channel catfish and blues moved up shallow to spawn around rocks. We made a good little trip to Squaw Creek Lake near Glen Rose, Texas, and we managed to catch some nice channel catfish around rock ledges, big flat rocks, and shallow water 5 to 8 feet deep. Now, those catfish have since moved back out towards deeper water, and you can catch them drifting all summer long. The smallmouth bass fishing in Oklahoma is also good. We just returned from a trip to Ten Killer Lake, and we caught some nice smallmouth bass. We caught them on biffle bugs, swimming them on a hard football head, and you can see there's some good quality smallmouth in Ten Killer. It's been a good half season thus far. Looking forward to a lot more good fishing across the Southwest between now and mid-December, when our show will end for the 2011 season. Stay with us. Coming up next, we'll have your Ask the Pro, Big Catch of the Week photo, and the Academy Right Stuff.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day. Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. Costa Del Mar Sunglasses. See what's out there. And by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our Ask a Pro feature. Our question this week is from Frank in Plano, Texas, who wants to know, is there such a thing as summer turnover for lakes? For the answer, let's ask Gary Klein, a man who has qualified for the Bassmaster Classic 29 times.
Let's just say you start off in the wintertime and the temperature is relatively the same from the bottom all the way to the surface. Cold water all the way to the top. And then what happens in the summertime, it starts warming and warming and warming, and it creates a little bit of a thermocline. And basically the thermocline's at the depth that the rays from the sunlight will penetrate. Clear water, I've seen thermocline at 38, 40, 45 foot. Some of these lakes around here, the thermocline may only be 15, 16 foot. All that is a layer, and there is a temperature break on the thermocline, kind of sandwiches. What happens in the fall is when the water starts cooling off, it starts to sandwich the warm water, and that's what creates the fall turnover, and it mixes going back into wintertime. I have no idea about no knowledge of a summer turnover.
Thanks, Gary. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, follow the Ask the Pro link, and send us your information. Now here's Barry with our Whataburger Big Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest is Stephen Mitski of Broadus, Texas. He is shown here displaying his 8-pound, 4-ounce largemouth bass he caught out of Sam Rayburn Reservoir on the Texas-Louisiana border. If you would like to enter your big fish photo in our contest, have a chance for that fish to be seen on our show, simply go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. You will need to become a member of the fan club if you're not already. It's free. You simply click on that area to log in the top right-hand corner of the front page. That takes you to the members only area, where you'll have a chance to not only enter your big fish photo, but you can send in an Ask the Pro question. You can view my weekly blog. You can see the Chevy Kidfish calendar of upcoming events, my favorites page, and much more. Also, don't forget to see us on Facebook. We post videos, photos, comments, and lots of other information on the Facebook page that you will not see here on the television show. Search for Southwest Outdoors Report with Barry Stokes at facebook.com. Also, you can see the past week's episode up 24/7 at our website. Go to the front left-hand corner of the front page. You can click on the play arrow and you can play last week's episode. Finally, you can go to YouTube at our YouTube channel and you can see all the past archived episodes of our show for the entire season. Coming up next on the Academy Right Stuff feature, I'd like to mention an important piece of information from the Costa Del Mar Sunglass Company. You've seen me wearing Costas for many years now on the show. They are an integral part of my fishing arsenal to help me cut glare on the water, protect my eyes from harmful UVA and UVB rays, and protecting my eyes from hooks and flying debris. Now Costa has announced that their frames and 580 lenses are available in prescription lenses. That's right, you can go to your eye doctor, get a prescription. If your eye doctor is already a Costa dealer, they can automatically send those off and get your prescription lenses in Costa lenses and frames. And if your eye doctor is not already a Costa dealer, it's very easy and simple to become one. Tell your eye doctor about it, and all the information is available at the Costa Del Mar website. Check it out and start wearing your prescription lenses in top-of-the-line Costa Del Mar frames and lenses as well. Also, I'd like to mention the next week's show will be on in its usual time slot, Thursday night at 10:30 with no conflicts, and Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. If you're setting your TiVo or your DVR, be sure to set it for the Saturday morning airing, as that time never changes. I hope you've enjoyed the look back at the first half of the 2011 season. Good things in store for the second half of the season as well. Be sure to join us each and every week right here on Fox Sports Southwest or at our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.